Welcome to Bonnie's Designs. This is a live stream for ustream.tv and also recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. And I'm continuing using professional watercolours in the Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia. This is the Fox page. So I'm colouring in, still using the reds from part 3, I think it was a part 4 for the flowers, and just tone them down with a little bit of French ultramarine to get some shadows, and then hopefully that will just have to go to a funny angle to get down there. So I've got another little section of rock here, so I'm going to colour that in next. Still like working with the watercolours, but quite dry, still quite dry. It starts down there, and I'm not blending at the moment because I want this to be quite flat. These rocks are behind everything, so I'm just giving them a flat colour and sorting out the last bit of what's what. So hopefully when we get all the rock in, we'll know all the stones behind. We'll be able to put, although there is quite a natural blend on that bit there. And it is a very dry palette, this, because this Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia book, you've got to work quite dry. If you can work on a photocopy paper, if you can work on photocopy paper without crinkling it, that's what you need as a practice. And then that's the dampness. It's just a damp brush with the colour. I have a bit of a squeaky voice today, so is that better? Sorry, I wasn't talking very loudly earlier, sorry. So just stroking that into there. And there seems to be another rock behind there, but once you get all these little rocks in, all the things we've missed will pop out, and I think that's the secret with these Kerby Rosanes ones. There's a lot going on. I normally pick the leaves first because they're kind of the easiest thing and I know what colour they're going to be. And then I pick the flowers and the toadstools and the animals. And then, as I say, the last thing now is, once we've got these rocks behind these leaves, and you see I've got another butterfly there which I'd missed. It's still quite a nice way of working this. It's still quite a nice way of working, and it's pleasant, which is what watercolouring is, and colouring in is supposed to be pleasant as well. The beauty of watercolouring, which is why I invented it, is for people with arthritis or people that want to do it for a long time. One is there's hardly any mess, you've got a tablespoon of water, and the other one is you're not putting any pressure on your hand because it's all in the springy brush. And that's why the rigger works. It's got to really be with a rigger. And the rigger is the long paintbrushes, the long brush ends that are bendy. So all the pressure in my hand is being bounced about here, rather than being, if it was a pencil, it would be being bounced about in the joints. But because I'm just stroking the page, there is hardly any pressure on my hand. So I can colour in all day. And I have to say, I do. I don't do anything else, because if I take a plug socket out or if I try and chop an onion, my hand is damaged for a few days. And I feel very guilty, but I've had to learn just recently that's how it's got to be. Which is why I make the videos, because this is the only thing I can do to keep out of mischief. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Mariel, sorry, I do apologise. Got my glasses on, I still can't read. So I keep going over the edges because I've got the glasses on, I can't see. So we've although it's the same pink, I've got a touch of French ultramarine there. And of course the beauty of working this just damp is that's dry. So if you forget, almost instantly it's dry, which again is another wonderful way of working, because there's nothing worse than finishing something and then I just check that's not too purple, because you see it's a lot more purple that is purple. Having said that, I think that's going to be quite nice, because dark rocks do have a purple tint, so I'm going to go with that. And because I've used the original red, it has a connection. These have a connection. No, I'm actually going to do, I think, all this one, because I want that flower to stand out. Am I in frame? So because that flower there is the same pink, if I just touch this behind and darken it, the flower will pop out again in front. And you can do that with these watercolours. You can work from light to dark. What you can't do is, once you've put that in, you can't take it out. So you've got to be sure. But if you, like I say, you just go with this red, coloured it all in, then decided, well, actually, I could just do with that. Now, I did like that highlight, but we'll get rid of it. And so that's made quite a nice little area now there. So I'm just, as I say, keep ploughing away, and this is how you've got to really do these unusual, not particularly complicated, but they just take a little bit more thought, because you've got lots of things going on. Like, I can't decide if that's another rock or if it's a greenery. So I'm going to do that green, and I need to just move my lamp a little bit. And then in here, I'm pretty sure that's going to be all. And it's quite nice that you don't have to keep going back, because the rigger's got a lot of colour on there now. But I'm not blending it. I think that might be a bit too purple. But again, so once you've coloured it in, you can have a look at it, and I can make that a browny colour by adding red if I want to. But it changes the colours of the leaves behind and in front, which is quite nice. I'll just pop all this behind here. I'm actually going to go in with, I've got the 3 riggers that I've been using. I quite like these. These are just from a model railway show, but the size is quite nice, and it's quite a long rigger, so it's a proper rigger. So there's a 3-0, a 1 and a 3, and that's my favourite combination at the minute, is having 3 brushes, whichever one I'm actually working on at the time. So that's just a damp brush, and I'm just touching the damp paint in the bottom. It's not too wet, and it's picked up the colour lovely, so, and kept it dry so it's not going to crinkle. And I think there's another leaf under there. Just trying to think of it. And that possibly could be a bit darker, but it will sort itself out in a minute, hopefully. I think that needs to be that little bit darker. And then there's that rock here, which I've missed. There's a bit of a rock there. So just see if I can pick a little bit of colour up. I mean, there really is hardly anything there. There's hardly anything there at all. And you can see where the damp brush is and the bit of colour that I've picked up. You have to excuse my fingernails, I haven't painted them since I came back from Birmingham at the weekend. So, and now I've found there's another green thing kind of behind there as well, but it's made these little tiny flowers which I've left white. They've popped out. So it makes you feel better when you've got everything with at least one coat of something. Again, you can go over it with the same colour and it'll darken it. But I'm going to actually resurrect some of this here. And I shouldn't do this with this brush, but never mind. And if I push that into the French ultramarine and twist, because I'm actually doing a flat colour now, I'm not blending, it's just a flat colour. You can just see, and in here as well, I've missed that bit in there, look. But again, it's still just a damp brush. And I'm going to do that stem pale. See what happens when I put that into there. I want to warm it up a little bit. I'm probably going to have to get some more colour out, but it's that tight Yorkshire lass again. She won't waste paint. Yeah, I quite like that that red has just warmed that purple up a bit. And because it's done that, it's brought it back into connection with this rock. Because obviously they are connected. It was just a bit too purple, was that? But oops. It's just warmed it up that little bit. So if anybody's got any questions, I think there's about 4 videos of this already. They're not quick, these pages. They're wonderful, but they're definitely not quick. They are definitely not quick, but they're still enjoyable. It's just a different way of working. I think that's a rock behind there. So I've brought that back into it a little bit now. It doesn't look like it's a different stone. So I don't think there's anything around. Oh, there's one up there. Look, I found another one. There's one behind here. And I am drastically running out of red rock, but again, it's just a damp, not too wet, because the pages will crinkle, and I don't suppose it would bother me too much, but I like books to lie flat, and it wouldn't lie flat, so if I can manage to do that, then that's fine. I don't think there's anything there. I think that's fresh air. And I've forgotten the underside of the mushrooms, toadstools. And I think they're supposed to have a fawn undercarriage, and none, I haven't done any of them, so this is when it gets a bit tricky, because you've got to decide what's stalk and what's not. Now, does his head go there or not? Oh, well, no. So we've sorted that little corner out now as well. And just about get into there, I think. It's a bit difficult in the creases, I have to say. And I think that's green. That's green. All those are green. Oh, there's a little green alien there. He's got to be green. And then I think that's almost it for the stone. Because now we come to the fox. Oh no, there's some under here. There's a waterfall. This is all stone under here as well. So found another one. this is stone under here, so there's a smidgen left of this colour, and I'm definitely getting the money's worth out of this watercolour. Again, because I've played with it, I'm just going to test it, see if I like it. So I'm going all the way under here to get all this kind of sorted out now. So actually I think that's probably a leaf, but never mind. There's a leaf there, because I wanted to sort, that's a leaf but that's not, I wanted to morph the roots into the red fox's head. That's the idea. That was my idea. And I've just realised that that is the underleaf, the underside of that leaf. So that's a mistake. That's a leaf, which I didn't realise. And that's the leaf. So I think and that's a leaf. That's one of those silly cloudy things. Oh, this is a stone here, look. So we've got, I don't know what that is. So if I don't know what it is, I'm going to leave it because I don't want to mess it up. And that's too pink because of that. That's gone the other way now. It's too pink. Oh, sorry about the moaning. Somebody's having a dream. I think. And then that's a pink stone as well. It's quite easy to make a mistake if you're not concentrating. And I think under here there's some more leaves. On this side here there's just a couple of stones, so we could pop those in and then they're done. May have to agitate the green back into life, because I found lots of leaves that I'd forgotten. But you see, the beauty of doing watercolour is all those, all these greens are still with us. All I have to do is to add a drop of water. And the greens are there, so that's, again, that's quite nice. So I'd made a mistake here and I've made that leaf. So I've got to clean the brush. I'm going to go back to the slightly bigger brush, I think. Oh no, I'm not, I'll stick with that one. And I'm going to do this leaf here. And I'm just touching the end of a damp brush under there. And luckily, because that was pink, by adding red, what's that's done is given me a natural, it's given me a natural dark, because obviously to make a green shadow, you add its complementary colour, which is red, so that actually worked quite well. Having said that, I want that pale colour back, and I don't know where that is. There's this one here, and then I have to say, I think that's one as well. It's not a butterfly, is it? I just coloured a butterfly. Sometimes you can't see. I think that's a leaf. I think that's a silly leaf that comes down there, look, underneath. So that's that way, and then that's that way. So these are going to be different colours as well. So I'll go in there and just activate a little touch of green. And then just to make sure it's the green I want, stroke that green in there. And I think this is what you have to do with this this type of book, is you just have to keep going back in and finding things you've missed. Stems, leaves. Probably that could have been pale, that one, but never mind. I think that's a leaf. Oh, it is now. There's a stem. I think that's a leaf. I'm in frame. I'm just not in frame, am I? There's another leaf. So by the time you finish this, you've got them all kind of, they're all in there. All the leaves are green and all the flowers are pink. So that section's finished. I'm just going to put a darker shadow down there. And I don't know what to do with these little creatures, so I leave them white. Oh, welcome to Bunny's Designs. I say this is a live stream, although I'm a bit quiet today because the throat's not brilliant, and I'm concentrating this when the Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia book. You do concentrate that little bit more than you possibly would. So I've got to fiddle about with this, and I've missed this leaf here, so that can go in. And that belongs to that leaf, so it's the wrong colour, so I better not do that one. Have I got any more pale colours? Just probably go under the caterpillar and give him a little bit of a shadow. There's an alien, but he's got a bit of green there. And I was going to do this. I don't know where that colour is. Wait a minute, is that it? Wait a second. I could have found it. Look. Yep, I think that's it. So again, that's another beauty of the watercolours, is, oops, they're all there. So, there's a little duck. And this is probably it now, is picking off things that I've missed. I've just seen a toucan and I've seen a leaf that I've missed. There's a large leaf somewhere, it's there, and I don't know what colour it would be. There's something dark under there, so if I pick a dark green. If I pick a dark green, I can pop that in there. So as I say, welcome to Bunny's Designs. I'm finishing off this page, Kerby Rosanes in professional watercolours, the Windsor and Newton watercolours, and again, it's a different way of working than I was earlier, but it's still quite pleasant. I think at this stage you can start to kind of colour things in. And there seems to be some shrubbery up there, and there's a butterfly. I don't know what to do with the butterfly. I could have a blue butterfly, couldn't I? Oh, I could have a French ultramarine butterfly. And again, just so I don't make such a silly mistake, I can just, be quite nice that. You do tend to have to concentrate that little bit on here, though, I have to say. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the inside. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. Thank you. Yes, good night. Yes, it must be very late where you are. Good night and sleep tight. It's what we're here. 11:40 here. 11:40 in the UK. And my brain won't work out. But thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the watercolouring. But these are lovely. These are quite nice, and a little bit of colour goes a long way. That's the beauty of the watercolours, I have to say. I quite enjoy myself. It's a nice, peaceful, gentle way of working. And I'm desperate to get these watercolours into this little travel pack. It's I think it's a Stay Wet acrylic pad. I can't remember the name of it, but once those are in there, that will give me the freedom to be able to take these out and about. And they are the Windsor and Newton professional watercolours, and I've got 6. Although in there I will be adding, because these were reduced, these are Dale and Rowney artist watercolours. These were actually reduced in the Hobbycraft in the UK, so I bought those as well. So it'll be interesting to see how different the colours are, because different manufacturers have the same names for things, but they are different. And that's what we're going to touch on with that other book of colours. But as I say, it's just quite nice to stroke the colours in here. And I mean, these aren't really vivid colours, they're quite pale. They are quite pale. I've lost my little butterfly now. I might just put a touch of pink in that, I think, maybe. A touch of pink in there. And then where there's been that little bit of red, I can make, it's the wrong red, so it's gone purple. We can give him a little body and a little head. Oops, that's too red. But never mind, he's in there, bless him. If I darken that, I'll probably darken the, oops. So I'm going to just finish this little section off here and just reconstituting these greens. And I think once I get all these greens in there, that will look quite nice. And I've just found another rock. I thought I'd done all the rocks. Change these greens for a paler green. And then have that rock behind. That would look quite nice. And I'd forgotten the... oh, there's too much there. Far too much, but it might just work. Let me just get rid of some of that. You do tend to talk to yourself quite a lot when you do this. Right, let's have a look at that. No, there isn't enough colour in there, so I need the cerulean blue, which is the cold blue, and I need the cadmium red, which is the cold red, and that will give me the brown, because we don't want any pink in there. Not really. It's a bit wishy-washy, but it'll do as a rock. It'll do as a rock. I wanted to keep them all a little bit pinky if I could. and I missed the brown stem out there, so I'll go back into here with some more green. And again, I want a darker green behind there because I want that to stand out. And I've missed some leaves there. But there is a green somewhere on that paper palette here. There will be a green somewhere. All the greens that I mixed, all the greens I've used, they're all on the palette. They're just dried. So I can find them all and I can match them all up. So that's quite good. Because if that was sometimes if that was a pencil, I wouldn't remember what I've used. Because my brain gets like that. So this leaf is there. So as I say, somewhere on here is that said green. So it could be that one. So we'll just have a bit of a look. Yes, it's there. It's a little bit tricky when you've zoomed in because you've got to try and hold it. So I'm going to take a little bit of that off there because there's too much. So that was quite nice. And this, I'm sure this is a leaf, so that's going in. And I missed one of those leaves out there. Again, when you're doing this, you can kind of find all sorts of things that you. And I think that's the flower. No, that's the cloud thingy, isn't it? Those clouds. So that section's almost finished. There is a toucan there, so I don't know what to do with him. I think I'll leave him. That's definitely a dark shrub there. And so I can put some dark behind the toucan. I don't think that's his wing, is it? No, I don't think it is. No, we'll get some dark in there. Because we want him to pop out a little bit, because he's obviously hidden. So that was another, and I don't know what that is either. So sometimes you just have to, that's his tail. I can't see what that is, but if we just dull it gently, if we've made a big faux pas, we can rectify that a bit later. I think that's a stone. That's green. Oh, we've got some flowers here again. Oh, well, that's a strange thing to find. So, again, we just have to have a look, see if we can find some, not too bright, but I'll put some flowers in there. I hope I'm still in frame, am I? You do tend to go into your own little world when you're painting this Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia because there's so much going on and you miss so many things that it's quite exciting when you find something else. Oh, I didn't see that. I quite like those. I'm going to give them a yellow centre. And we can go, oops, and again, all this is pure colour in here. It's pure colour, so I can get a really lovely lemon. Sorry. The book keeps sliding down. So they'll pop when I put this yellow in because it is quite bright. So I don't think I need yellow for anything else. And there's a little brown bear there. There's a green leaf under here. So it's a strange phenomena that you think you've got everything done, and then you find another one. You find another one. So we'll colour that one in, and that'll make the little bear stand out then. He's obviously standing on another leaf down there. I think that's green. I think I wanted a different green though. So I was hoping to have this done because it does take a while, but at least you can see in real time how it's done and what there is to do. I hope everybody can see that. There's a bit of green going on behind here. I think that's bunny ears. Oops. And that's green. We're going to give that green as well. I think I'm going to put that darker. That's going to be darker because it's obviously... I'm going to put a touch of French ultramarine in there to kind of really give it a dark shade. And then just to make sure I haven't made a big boo-boo, just test it. And again, the rigger's good because that's going to hold enough colour to completely finish that section off there. And that's lovely because normally you'd have to go back and faff about making more colour or picking more colour up, but because it's all there, there's quite a lot of colour in here. And I'm not sure when the fluffy cloud comes in, but I've decided that this is quite a nice background colour. I think that's a sandy, I think that's it for leaves and things over there. I found two more. They probably should have been paler, but never mind. Behind here I think we'll do, there could be a bark alert because the postman's here. A postie. So if I just take that down a little bit. Again, I know now that the bird is now okay, there's nothing in its way to kind of... I quite want something dark down there. So, there we go. I can darken some of these up if I want to, but I think when I get there, I don't think I want to really. I think I've got to that stage where I quite like it. So I'll just double check this one. Because I think... Oh, I thought that was rock, but actually I'm not sure now. I think these are rocks, so I'm going to put these in the purple. So just make sure that I'm in frame to put all these in. Because I want the red fox to kind of merge down. And I haven't made the fox colour yet. It's going to be a really richy red brown. So that all these are going to morph into it. A bit of a stone there. And a bit of a stone there. I like finishing edges off and then I know where that I've finished. I know where I've finished. This doesn't lend itself to do quite well with that because when you think you've finished you find something else. I'm just going to do that in there. I think that might have finished. And I could go back in here and do some shading, but I've got a little fox there looking at, so let's find some red. I hope everybody's all right. So this is a live stream, but I'm so I'm going to put a touch of this into it, because in that colour, in that oh, I was hoping my book came today. I had free delivery, and then when I looked, it said if you paid £1.99 you could have it, and I thought I would have done that. So I've got a green, I've got an olive green because I wanted the orange, and so now if I put red into that, I should get my fox colour, which I have, and I learnt that from that Victorian book, so that's quite good. So we'll be going into that a bit later, but I'm going to use the bigger brush because this has got too much colour on it. So I'm trying to get a lot of colour out of there. It's not as quite like that foxy red colour. And because it's quite diluted, it means I can actually go over the lines, which is something I don't normally do. And you'll still be able to see all the colour behind. And it's going to be a lot easier to colour. Oh, and I'm really sorry, I'm off camera, sorry about that. So I'm quite enjoying this. This is actually going to be a lot faster because I can actually go over the lines. And again, it's something I don't normally do because I like to have a natural progression. But I think I quite like that. The continuity of them all being the same. And there's a flower there to colour that I've missed. And I can always go back in with, and this is what I wanted to do, is to morph it into green. That's what I wanted to do. So it wasn't long before it'd gone from the fox to a leaf. And I wanted that kind of overlap. Sorry about that, it's so difficult to get into there when I've got my camera in the way. And this leaf is going to, these leaves are going to look so lovely when this comes out. It's going to be okay. Just hope I've got enough now, but if I do this first, the head can be paler. And work all the way up. And again, I wanted to morph these leaves kind of into and under here would be quite dark, I think. So I hope that looks alright. It looks a bit too red, does that? But I think foxes already are quite red. But it isn't quite that red, I have to say. It does look a bit too red, but it's not that red. But the colour seems to have changed on it. But then, of course, I can paint a pink fox if I want to. I've certainly got some unusual colours and they're all mixed by hand. So they've kind of all got something in common with each other. They are made from the same reds, and sometimes that makes a difference. And normally I would have painted everyone individually, because you get the differences then with the but I'm probably going to go in with a different colour. Just need to get some of this fox in. So if anybody's got any questions, pop them in caps and say welcome to Bunny's Designs. It's a live stream. Although it is rather early in the UK and across the planet. It is, and it's still, again, quite a nice way of working teas in this colour. I like really individual ones, and it also keeps your page really, really dry, but sometimes it's quite nice just to get some colour in there. And then I can, as long as I start with the palest one, you can go back in and then kind of really morph these into here. That would be nice. That's underneath. I think he could possibly change colour in a minute as well. I think that would be nice. I might do this behind here. And you do get quite immersed into this, I have to say. And this is getting quite a dry brush now, so you can tell when it's getting quite dry. I just need to tease some colour out so that can morph into there. I have to add up how many hours something like this takes, but it depends how you use it. Some people can do it in a few minutes and some people can take a few days. It depends what you work with. Again, I quite like the way of working like this. I think I might even get away with those. I suppose if I put some water to this, I think they have darker ears, but I'm just going to turn this upside down, just purely because it's easier for me to get to the ears. I'm going to do his little foxy ears, I think. And I don't tend to do any backgrounds. So that's the in. I can't see what I'm doing. That's the inner ear. So this is the. That's that bit. Yes. This is this bit. So I'm probably going to water this down and keep watering it down until it's the pale snout, I think. And then I can go over it if I need to. But twisting as much water as I could out, because you've got to be dry with this. Sorry, you've got to be dry with this. With this type of paper. difficult to see what you're doing when you're upside down. It's upside down. And I didn't really want to do this because that's working a little bit too wet, really. And I did want it to be paler, but I can always make the other darker. I'll turn it back this way a little bit, and then I can just work on there. It's not too different. It's just a slight. My paintbrush keeps tapping the lamp. But that's made quite a bit of a difference, actually. I didn't think it was, but it is, so that's quite nice. And that happened quite by accident, but again, that's just what I wanted, that to just kind of gently morph into a paler colour without any hard lines. And sometimes if you've got a big area, it's not easy to do this watercolouring because you get hard lines. So sometimes you've just got to kind of work really fast, and I'm at a real bad angle for this. But if I don't stop, you've just got to really keep it dry if you can, because you're going to end up with a crinkle, and we don't want a crinkle, or I don't want a crinkle. If you're not bothered about a crinkle, have a crinkle. But the rigger is allowing not to get any hard lines on there, so that's quite nice. Unless you put one in with your paintbrush when you're not looking what you're doing. I'm just going to clean that off a minute, see if I can just get rid of that. Oops, sorry, see if I can just get rid of that line. Sometimes, if it's nice watercolour, it's forgiving. And then, because we want this very pale, not that pale though, we might just give that a hint. It's really difficult to work at that angle. I'm just taking the colour off that. I just worked a little bit wetter than I normally do and wasn't happy with it. It's just taking the colour off. And of course we want, now, do foxes have green eyes, or do they have brown eyes? I'm going to have to Google. Give me a moment, I just have to Google to see if we have, in fact, what I shall do is, I'll just pull this out a minute. Oh, you can see my lamp. There we go. So there's the foxy. I think the butterfly's about to land on his nose, actually. I didn't realise that. So I need to Google. I can't think if it's yellow eyes or green eyes. I can't remember. If it's yellow or green. Bear with me a minute. Let's Google and see what Mr. Fox has to say. Ooh, Mr. Fox has got a green eye, but on that one, he's got a yellow eye, an orange. And I've coloured his snouting, but never mind. So, what colour eyes have they got? Oh, that's a gorgeous colour, isn't it? They've got different colours. It's supposed to be the same colour as the fur. So we better make an orangey yellow then. So we'll take some cad yellow and a touch of cadmium red. And I'll just have a quick look and see what that does. Let's have a look, see. And it's a bit wishy-washy, as that looks to be a bit stronger, perhaps. He's got an orangey eye now. So there's still some fawny browns things to kind of put in here. So let's take this and put it there. Oh, that wasn't a bad guess, was it? Just fill this in now because you're getting a bit... Oh, and I can use that for the bottom of the toadstools. Maybe a touch darker because obviously it is behind a leaf. It's not... I think something down here as well, maybe. Don't know. There's all sorts going on still that I've missed. Oh, the toadstools. We were going to pop into that fawny colour, weren't we? Yep. And there's toadstools. And I've missed a toadstool there, look, so we need a bit of that. That's that done. Oops. Oh, I've got Mr. Fox here to colour in as well, so we need a Mr. Fox colour down here, don't we? I think he's possibly, oh, maybe not too red. He's probably the proper fox colour. Mr. Fox. fox there, and if I just give a touch of this, give him maybe a bit of shadow. So that's Mr. Fox done. So we're nearly finished actually. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was worried about him because he's not the normal colour. He's not the normal colour, but it was a lot easier to kind of do that. I thought it would be. Just found some more green that I've missed. I'm desperate to get this finished now because I want to start another one. I want to start another one. I think they want to be probably just a little bit of green. They want to be green. I don't really want to rush it, but I do want to start another colour page in this Kerby Rosanes because I haven't done many. And that's a flower, that's a leaf. Found another rock. I'm just going to lift this up very carefully. And I'll adjust the, put my glasses on. I'll just adjust the focus to see what it does. So there's Mr. Fox. So completely different colours to the other ones. I think I've got, there's a bit of rock behind there and there's another green thing there, but and there's a dragonfly and a butterfly and a bird, and some odd creatures on the end here, but he's nearly finished. Yay! Almost finished. Almost finished. I was quite pleased with that colour actually. I didn't think I'd get that right. I have to say I didn't think I'd get that right. Let's put that down gently. But there again, I didn't want to copy the perfect fox colour really. I wanted to just do a little bit, but this needs, there's another butterfly, so I've got the butterflies to do. So he's still definitely not, it's not finished, but and there's a lot of green in there as well. So my lamp's having a moment. So the big question is now, which is the next one? I could do this one. He's the eagle. The balloon one, I'm going to do like Victorian balloons. There's the Tigger. I'm going to try and do this one as sparkle, I think. Is it a secretary? I can't think if I think it's a secretary. But I thought about doing all those. I'll do those in the graphy tint, maybe, I think. And there's all the different birds, flowers. I think I like this one in the bunny colours because I quite like these colours. I like these; they were quite rich and dark. So I think this one lends itself to some really nice, really rich colours, and then of course the very pale jellyfish colours. Oops. But I wouldn't think that the bunnies have come from the same exact same palette. So that's strange, is that? Because they look completely different. And But of course they're washed out a little bit. So he's almost finished. Almost finished. I don't know. I'll leave the little creatures. I think he could be green, but of course I've got lots of green in there. But we need a really big fake green in there then, don't we? The dragonfly and the butterflies. And then I seem to have kind of missed it down here somewhere. I could probably put the deer a little bit brighter, but I actually quite like the fact they're all muted. I quite like the fact that Mr. Fox is quite muted. So I hope that was fun, guys. I hope you thought that was interesting. And I'll stop the recording now because I've say he's almost finished. Oops, he's almost finished. I can't say for definite he's definitely finished, but we've one or two little bits. He's almost finished. So thanks for watching, guys, and Mr. Fox in the Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia is almost finished in professional watercolours. That's quite fun. Thanks for watching.